Welcome everybody to the WGS Sports Network. Today we have an interview with Ncwo sensation Nashoba. Welcome to the podcast,
Thank you very
Yeah, thank
much for having me.
Jack. I
it's
know you wanted to. I know you had a few questions for him. Let you start off with the first question for him.
um so first off, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
Truly honored to have you here. To start off this interview, question is, what does it take to be a wrestler?
What it takes to be a wrestler, well, first of all, for me, one of the biggest things for me was confidence. You have to have the confidence to get into it. Just like once you have the confidence and you have the dream, you have the passion, and then you just gotta go for it. If you got the passion
Hmm.
for it, go for it. And
All right.
sometimes not for everybody, but you just gotta try it and see if it works.
I do have one
All right.
question too. What made you want to become a professional wrestler, and how long have you been doing this for?
I had my first match almost 2 years ago now, so and I
Wow.
started training 4 months before that.
Oh wow.
So yeah, I started training 2 years ago. Yeah, and what
Okay.
made me want to become a wrestler was is that I grew up watching professional wrestling all the time when I was little, and it was my escape from the real world where none of my problems mattered. I could just zone in and focus on what was going on with wrestling. And so I
Okay.
wanted to dive in that into that kind of world and hopefully inspire other people to watch me and then they want to escape from the real world from me. So I just want to help out people like that.
I've seen the kinds of matches you put on, like back. I think it was it was during the start of this year. I met you at one of the NCWO events, and seeing how aggressive you were when attacking somebody. So have you always? The question is, have you always been a heel, or have you been a face too? And what's your favorite?
Well, my thing is when I'm mostly go everywhere else, I'm a nice guy. I try to get along with everybody. I have no problems with anyone. But once I get to McAllister and NCWO, it just brings the worst out of me. That's where I got my start. That's basically my home, and I feel like I'm being treated like garbage while I'm there because it's there's so much injustice, so much corruption, and I'm just like fed up with it. They're always trying to keep me down at the bottom, me and my tag team partner Sheriff Schultz, but I'm not going to have it. So on, as you seen posted yesterday, on October 21st, Sheriff and I will be competing for the tag team titles against KOA and the Stage Dive Mafia. And
Which
no matter
is
what happens,
Rook Tyler and Axel Savage, right? All right.
yes, and nothing, and I mean nothing, is going to stop us from winning the tag team titles this time. Not that corrupt referee, Mike Lanoy, not Richard Bedford, nobody. It's finally our time.
And I
I
can see
100% agree with you on that.
I've seen the kind of stuff that KOA was able to do, the amazing moves. I've seen Axel Savage and Rook Tyler be able to put out some good moves, but I see that you've been waiting for your time to shine for a while to get back in that uh, uh, championship running. So I feel like you and your fighting partner have a big chance of winning that match, and I really hope y'all do.
There was a key word you had in there, and you said waiting. And I'm not going to wait anymore. I'm going in there and taking it. This is my time now, and those tag team titles will be mine, or ours, I should say.
Yeah. Um. So I have another question. This is about your tag team partner. How long have you guys been together as a tag team?
Uh, just a little bit after I debuted, 2 months after I debuted. It was my third match is when we teamed up. We were just randomly paired up and just worked. We live in the same hometown, so it just made sense.
Okay. Now, as a wrestler, you take bumps. How bad is it to take a bump when, let's say, like you're going off like a top rope move? If you take a bump from that, how bad does it feel?
Okay, so I've heard people compare taking a bump as like taking small car wrecks, which yeah, I can see that. But when you first start, oh yeah, it's going to hurt. The first day or two, you're going to be covered in bruises. But you just like stick with it, keep going, and eventually enough, your body will become callous to it. And if you're doing a show with a crowd full of people just like screaming and whatnot, that
Hmm.
pumps you up with adrenaline, and you don't really feel it that much until after the match when you're backstage and you feel all kinds of sore and whatnot.
Yeah.
Is there any weapon that you've ever been hit with that is the worst to get hit with?
Oh,
I've heard
that's
that.
actually a good question.
I've heard kendo sticks grab a hold of your skin. So, what is the worst weapon you've ever been hit with?
Well, just recently I posted a reel on my Facebook and Instagram of me getting a steel chair shot right there.
Oh wow, right to the head.
Yep, and that wasn't fun, to say the least.
uh, yeah, that I can honestly tell. Now, growing up as a kid, did you have like a favorite wrestler that you were inspired by to become a wrestler yourself?
Yes, my all-time favorite wrestler is Edge.
Ah,
That's good
radar
taste.
superstar.
Yeah, when I was a kid growing up, just watching him, he was just like the coolest guy. That's who I wanted to be when I grow up, but
Yeah.
it's not how it worked out. But yeah, he's still my favorite though.
See, when it came to
That's pretty good,
wrestling, I was inspired growing up. It was Randy Orton and The Undertaker. Then now it was Bray Wyatt and his character, The Fiend, which really inspired me to want to do this kind of wrestling stuff.
yeah.
Because
I mean,
the creative way that Bray Wyatt had with his fans and the creative mind that he had was different from other people, which was really inspiring to when it came to either his promos or the way he did his matches.
now
Yeah,
actually, now that you mention that, sorry to interrupt you guys. Now that you actually mention that, gamer, I actually have a question for you guys.
All right.
What is like the atmosphere like with the fans? Are they like energetic, or do they usually boo you a lot? Like, what's it like with the fans?
I don't know anything about that.
it just depends on where I'm at. Like everywhere else, I'm usually well received. The fans really like me, and I like them. It's just in McAllister where it's just all violent and disturbing, and they don't like me, and I don't like them. So that's just where we're gonna go.
Right.
The last show that I seen with him attacking that one guy, the fans were literally booing him, and that was mostly children in the front row.
Yep.
Oh.
That people were literally. There was one guy there that was telling the kids to shut up.
Oh yeah. The guy that was beaten up was Marsh Lewis, and one of the kids in the front row was his son.
Oh
So
wow.
And
That makes it more funnier.
and one
yeah,
match was Clayton
that was
Bloodstone. Clayton Bloodstone was even getting told to shut up, but he was going back at the kids, so it was even better.
yeah.
Oh my
You have any other
goodness.
questions for him too? Because I'm trying to think of some more.
Um, have you ever been injured in a wrestling before yet?
Not yet. Thank God
That's
for that. I have not been injured so far.
that's a
Considering
good
all the
thing.
crazy stuff I've done, yeah, I'm blessed to not be injured yet. It's bound to happen someday though.
Yeah.
There's no
Yeah.
Here's a good
Um.
here's a good question for you. Out of every opponent in NCWO that you ever faced, who gave you the biggest challenge, and who are you most close to, like friend wise, that you could say?
Oh.
in NCWO.
Yes.
Well, of course, the closest person I'm close to is my tag team partner Sheriff Schultz. If that's what you mean, or you're talking about my opponent.
Like anybody that you face, like do you get along with some of the superstars that you face backstage when you're not in character?
Uh, sure. My very first opponent, my first rival, was Malik Mayfield, and my first five matches, four of them was against Malik.
AKA
And
the moment.
the moment, yeah. But at the time, he was known as the cheer captain, and he was starting his tag team of Chosen Influence.
Okay.
And yeah, we didn't get along at first, but once we started getting to know each other, I say we're getting along now.
Awesome.
Another question is for you. That have you ever won a championship yet?
I am a 3-time champion so far.
Okay.
I they were both at Majestic Championship Wrestling. I am a 2-time 24/7 on-call champion, and I won the MCW heavyweight title once.
What's
Go
sorry,
ahead.
go ahead. What's it like to like become a champion? Like, what's the emotion like after the match and you go backstage that hey, I've done it, I've won a championship. What's the emotion like after that?
Oh man, it's unbelievable. You just get like filled with excitement and joy and adrenaline. Like once you get into the wrestling business, that's what you go for is the championships. And I won my first title like less than a year in the business, which was way quicker than I thought I would. So I was very proud of myself, and yeah, I was overwhelmed with emotion once I did that. So it's a very good feeling.
That's incredible, man. Like just to be like, hey, you can tell your friends and your family, hey, I won a championship and I'm
Mm,
proud of my accomplishments. That's something to be very proud of.
absolutely. And there's like other wrestlers who've been wrestling way longer than me that are way better than me that still have yet to win a title. And I'm a 3-time champion. So it's a very
There you
good
go.
feeling.
There you go.
The one superstar I'm waiting for you to actually challenge is NCWO World Champion, which is the Gatekeeper. I know how dangerous he is, but I think you could take him.
Yeah, I don't think so. He's undefeated, and I'm not going to try it. He can keep that heavyweight title. I'm going for all the other ones.
Oh yeah, the Gatekeeper is undefeated.
Hmm.
I'd hate to be the one after I seen that one guy get speared by him in the most massive spear that beats anything Goldberg or Roman Reigns could have ever done.
Honestly, he has a mean, he has a mean spear.
I don't
Yeah,
know if Edge would be injured and retired if he got speared by the Gatekeeper.
probably.
You probably
Yeah,
think so?
I'm not messing with the gatekeeper. Never. Mm-mm.
Okay. I got one more question that I've been dying to ask for a while now. Uh, what is your signature and finisher? Because like I know a wrestler has to have a signature and a finisher. What is it for you?
My go-to signature move is the what I call the Chickasaw drop, which is basically a Samoan drop, but with my
Okay.
own native heritage twist on it.
Okay. And then do you have a finisher that you use, or do you have like a tag team finisher?
Uh, well, yeah, I've won a couple matches with like a running knee where I like you do a back kick to their gut and they're hunched over. I bounce
Hmm.
off the ropes and then drive my knee straight into their noggin, their temple right there.
Okay.
That
Okay.
sounds
So
So
that
kind of
was
like so like Daniel Bryan would. Okay.
that's kind of
sort of
sounds like
like
something the V trigger would be from Kenny Omega and AEW almost.
True. That kind of
yeah,
sounds like it.
more of the future than the Daniel Bryan because Daniel Bryan's more the front. I go right here.
Right.
I will definitely
Right.
knock you out.
Okay. I definitely should have messed with you then.
I wonder what I've seen his moves in action when I went to that last event, and it's really something to see when compared to what you see on TV to what you see in real life. It's a lot louder. The chants are a lot more louder, and just the action is better to see. And
Mhm.
I hope one day I could be at that point one day because if like Richard said, once the ring gets back into the gym, I can start training. Which hopefully, if I can train with anybody, it could be you or Dominic Whiteheart or somebody that could train me. I'm pretty sure I'll be in good hands either way.
Mhm.
So honestly, if the ring doesn't get put up, there are other places to go to in Oklahoma and that you can train to if you really, really want to do it.
Oh, I do. I just don't have a car or a license to do that.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, even if I have to train on a mat in the Stipe Center, I mean, it's it's just a dream of mine to perform just like y'all do. And one question is, what does it feel like backstage before a match? How do you get warmed up to go out for your entrance, knowing that you're going to either get booed or cheered from the fans?
Well, of course, I start off by stretching, and once I put my face paint on, it's kind of therapeutic. I'm looking into a mirror or my camera. I'm just like staring at myself, put on my makeup. During that motion, I'm transforming into Nashoba, so I can get into that mindset, that warrior mindset that I have to get into before that match. And I have to hop around, do my rain dances, my war chants, and every time I'm standing behind that curtain, I'm always very nervous because it's pretty nerve wracking going out there and performing in front of a crowd of people. So you
Yeah.
got to do what you got to do to get your mind right.
And are you looking to add to your uh tag team, like having a manager? Because if so, I'm one call away for that one.
Unfortunately, we already do have a manager. His name is Buckshot Barrett.
Another tag team partner.
Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
So what is it like with your manager right now? Is he like super strict or chill when it comes to like backstage and everything?
He's chill. He's chill. He's starting to move around a lot more. He did commentary for the last show, and yeah, he managed me in my match. So
Hmm.
he's starting to get around a little bit. Just not starting in the business.
Okay.
This is a good question for Jack here. If you since Nashoba here has a signature and finisher, what would your signature and finisher be if you were a wrestler? Because for me, the RKO as a signature and a Sister Abigail as a finisher.
Um, that's actually a good question. Probably my favorite would probably be like a super kick maybe, and I'll probably do with maybe like an attitude adjustment possibly. I'm not sure to be honest.
I almost hit an
Those
attitude.
are
I almost hit an
those are
attitude adjustment on my friends.
good options.
See, I'm like I'd be like a basic person. Like I'm not. I love wrestling and all that. I grew up as a wrestling fan, but I'm more like a race car guy.
Yeah.
But if racing doesn't work out for me, I'll definitely turn my attention to wrestling.
Do what you like. Do what makes you happy.
And
Yeah.
the reason why I picked wrestling as a profession mostly that I want to try to do is my family were wrestling fans for a long time. They stopped watching WWE for a while, and I feel like if I was to join something like Ncwo, they'd be able to watch me do something I loved, and that's just a family oriented kind of thing that wrestling is. Just to see my family come up there and cheer would be something unforgettable.
Yeah,
That is
exactly.
when you're when it comes out to sport, it's wonderful.
Do you have your family come out there and watch your matches sometimes whenever you compete?
Sometimes, mostly my parents try their best to go through every match, but yeah, sometimes my aunts, uncles, cousins, my sister came once, my brothers, yeah, every now and then.
I understand.
Now, is your parents like very supportive about you wrestling as your career goes
They're
on?
very supportive. They've always been 100% supportive in everything I do, and wrestling is the same way, and I'm absolutely grateful for that.
I can also tell. It's just having like your family to support you in your career and your journey into wrestling, knowing they're proud of you and what you're doing right now. It's something to be especially excited and proud of. So I honestly give you the best of luck in your career, man. It's definitely truly an honor to have you here tonight.
Oh, thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
And
Appreciate it. It's no problem, man.
anytime that you would come on the show and just speak your mind, we'd love to have you anytime. The more people we get,
Absolutely.
we're just trying to get as many subscribers and on YouTube and have the best kind of guests. And you're the perfect start. I told you if we ever do a
Exactly.
podcast with guests, you'd be the first star that we'd have on
Well,
it. You definitely are.
I might take you up on that offer then.
Yeah,
But yeah,
honestly, it's a privilege.
so this was a kind of perfect time. I just got this brand new laptop yesterday because I'm going to start doing vlogs when I start doing shows now.
Hey,
Yeah, I've been
there you
wanting.
go. There you
Yeah.
go, man. That's honestly pretty cool. Now, I got one final question before I have to go because I have to go do something with my dad. Unfortunately, my dad's a pain in the butt. But um,
Anyways,
what is it like? I know I think he might gamer might already ask this, but what's like backstage? Is there like any backstage beef you have with any other company you work with?
I didn't ask that question, so you're good.
Me personally, no. I anytime there's like any sort of drama, I try to stay away from it. Most of the time, I try to get along with everybody. Everybody's nice. I haven't had any problems like yet, and even if I did, I wouldn't pay too much of attention to it anyways. Because what's the point? There's no need for that. We're all there for the same reason, and that's to put on a good show for the fans who pay good money to see us do what we do. That's all we're there
Right.
for. There's no time for these egos and this is my spot, and I want this amount of money, and there's no need for all that.
Right.
And my one final question for you is: I seen on your page on your Facebook just now. I was gliding through it, so I'd have another question about Terry Funk. What was your reaction to Terry Funk's passing, and how was he a big in like? How did he impact your life in wrestling?
He was a very big impact for me because back when I was little, I was always watching his matches with Cactus Jack in Japan. Those death matches were insane. The toughness that Terry Funk had was just like bar none. There's nobody like Terry Funk. He's the one that set the bar for death matches, and everybody is still trying to live up to that potential or expectations. And honestly, I don't think anybody's lived up to it, and I don't think anybody ever will because Terry Funk's just amazing. Even without the death matches, he's a very good worker, very good storyteller, good on the mic, good in the ring. Just and he's a wonderful person too. From what I've seen, I've never met him, but just overall top notch guy.
All right. And here's a good ending question here. In character, in your character, if there was one person from any wrestling show, either WWE, AEW, Impact, or anywhere, EBW, since we have 10 minutes left, who would you call out for a match in that character, and what would Nashoba say?
Huh. I don't have anyone in mind, so I guess I can make an open challenge. I'm the Shoba, and I'm taking over Oklahoma wrestling. I'm taking back for my people. And if anybody tries to get my way, I'm just going to stomp your head in.
All
Plain and
right.
simple. There you go.
Well, guys, this will be the ending of this podcast. Thanks again for Nashoba being part of it. And we hope that you had a great time on the show. We definitely did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, this is my first little podcast or interview or anything, so it was fun. It was a start.
Yeah.
We hope to
We
see you
definitely
again.
appreciate you joining.
And and remember, October 21st and the 22nd, NCWO and Comic Con come to the McAllister, Oklahoma Expo Center. And WWE Hall of Famer Tatanka will be signing autographs at the event as well, which is going to be so awesome.
My boy. That's the man right there.
Now, before we end the show, I want to wish you the best of luck for your tag team match. I hope you win those tag team championships, man. We hope you have a good time with it, man.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to meet you.
Absolutely, too, man. Have a great night, brother.
Take care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you for joining. And next time we stream, we'll have Nashoba on again if he's ready after October. But McAllister, let me talk to you.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Well, we will see
Take
y'all
care, man.
next time.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Yeah.
Pleasure.
All right, guys.